You see two pink lines on a test strip, and the very first thing you do, before you call your mom, before you tell your best friend, is open a spreadsheet. You title it something hopeful. You start filling rows. Crib, car seat, stroller, 12 months of diapers, formula just in case, a few sleepers, a pack of burp cloths, maybe a second-hand rocker you found for $40. You land on a number. Something between $8,000 and $12,000 for the first year. You close the laptop feeling like a person who has their life together. You are not prepared. And the reason has almost nothing to do with what is in that spreadsheet. Here is what every baby budget article tells you to price: gear, clothing, diapers, feeding supplies, maybe a nursery refresh. These are real costs. They are also the smallest layer of what a baby actually does to your household finances. They are the part you can see, the part that fits in a registry, the part that makes you feel in control. The published estimates back this up. 12 months of diapers and wipes runs roughly $900 to $1,200. Gear and furniture, buying a reasonable mix of new and used, maybe $1,500 to $3,000. Feeding, formula if you use it, another $1,200 to $1,800. Add it up, and you get a number between $4,000 and $8,000 in pure stuff costs. Maybe you pad it, push it to 10, feel extra cautious. But that number is only the surface. Underneath it is a crater that most expecting parents never model, because it doesn't show up in a product search. The single largest financial event of having a baby is not what you buy. It is what you stop earning. Only 23% of private sector workers in the United States have access to paid family leave. That means for roughly 3 out of 4 workers, every week home with a newborn is a week of zero income. If you earn $65,000 a year and take 12 weeks unpaid, your gross lost income is approximately $15,000. After taxes, the net hit to your household is somewhere between $11,000 and $12,000. That one-line item, time not worked, already exceeds most people's entire baby stuff budget. And 12 weeks is optimistic. Complications extend recovery. Childcare waitlists in most metros run 6 to 9 months for infant spots, which means somebody might stay home longer than planned. Your partner's freelance pipeline does not pause politely. Clients move on, and rebuilding takes months after you resurface. The cruel part is the timing. The missing paycheck does not arrive as a dramatic bill with a due date. It arrives as absence. The deposit that used to hit every other Friday simply does not hit. Rent still pulls. The car insurance still pulls. The credit card autopay still pulls. You do not get a letter saying, "Congratulations, your household has just become $5,000 thinner this month." You discover it by watching the checking balance fail to refill. And because the baby is real, you do not experience the number in a calm spreadsheet mood. You experience it at 2:17 in the morning with a bottle warming, a delivery app receipt on the counter, and a half-finished insurance form you were supposed to submit 3 days ago. That is why the income crater feels larger than its math. It hits while your attention is gone. Now layer on insurance. The moment you add a dependent, your health plan premium jumps. The average employee contribution for family coverage runs about $5,500 more per year than single coverage. That is roughly $460 a month you were not paying before. If you are between jobs or on COBRA during any of this, the number gets worse, fast. Medical bills also have a delay that makes them feel fictional until they are not. The delivery looks covered. Then one envelope arrives from the hospital. Then one from anesthesia. Then one from the lab. Then one from a provider whose name you do not recognize because they were in the room for 9 minutes. None of those envelopes is the whole story by itself. Together, they create the feeling that the birth keeps billing you long after the baby is home. Then there is childcare itself. If both parents return to work before the baby turns 1, you need infant care. In most mid to large U.S. metros, that costs between $1,100 and $1,800 per month. Even 3 months of care before a more affordable option opens up adds $3,300 to $5,400. And childcare is not only a monthly payment. It is a deposit. It is an application fee. It is a waitlist fee. It is paying to hold a spot before you are emotionally ready to leave the baby with anyone. Sometimes it is paying for care before the first full paycheck has returned. This is the part that breaks people. The solution to the income problem often requires cash before the income comes back. Stack it. Income loss, 11 to 12,000. Insurance jump, 4,600 to 5,500 for the year. Childcare bridge, 3,300 to 5,400. You have just added $18,000 to $23,000 to your first year cost, and you have not bought a single additional onesie. In higher cost of living metros, where salaries are bigger but so is the income loss and the childcare rate, that gap stretches toward 25 or even 30,000. The Federal Reserve's survey of household economics tells us that roughly 37% of Americans could not cover an unexpected $400 expense without borrowing. Now imagine an unexpected $18,000 expense that arrives on a schedule, except nobody handed you the schedule. This is why the gap is catastrophic for so many families. It is not that having a baby is unaffordable. It is that the real cost hides in places a product spreadsheet never looks. This is also why the point is not fear. The point is not to make a baby sound like a bad financial decision. A child is not a line item, and nobody who has actually held a newborn at 4 o'clock in the morning believes that the spreadsheet is the whole story. The point is preparation. The point is that joy and math are allowed to exist in the same room. So here is what you do instead. Tonight, before the excitement fades into anxiety, you draw 2 columns. Column 1. What you will spend. This is your original spreadsheet, stuff costs. Keep it. It is real. It is just not complete. Column 2. What you will stop earning. This is where you model the crater. How many weeks will each earner take off? Which of those weeks are paid, and at what percentage? Will either income source drop, freelance drying up, commissions lost, bonuses missed? What does your insurance premium become with a dependent added? Then you ask a third question that almost nobody asks. How many months of total household expenses can your savings cover if both columns hit at once? That is your runway. If the answer is less than 5 months, you have a gap to close before the due date, not after. Closing the gap does not require a dramatic lifestyle overhaul. It requires lead time. 6 or 7 months of aggressive saving before the baby arrives, redirecting discretionary spend, pausing retirement contributions temporarily if the math supports it, or negotiating a partial remote arrangement that extends your working weeks after delivery. The key is that none of these moves work in month 8 of pregnancy. They work in month 2. You open the laptop again. The first tab is still there, crib, stroller, diapers. You do not delete it. But now there is a second tab, and it holds the number that actually determines whether your family lands on stable ground or spends 2 years digging out. The spreadsheet was never wrong. It was just incomplete. The real cost of a baby is not what you buy for them. It is what happens to your income while you learn to take care of them. Now you know where the gap hides. Close it early, and the first year becomes what it should be: exhausting, transformative, and not financially devastating.